2 in Seville, Spain. As you can see, there's riots all over the place. Free booze. Every piece of everything has been bought by Microsoft, and the Xbox logo shamelessly plastered on it. Like that.
I'm quite excited that they're going to announce the Rare acquisition.
And this is just a great chance to get it all out in front of you guys. For the last 2 years, this project has just been haunted with rumors. There's been rumors and speculation. Microsoft buying Sega, Microsoft buying Vivendi, Square, you name the company, we've been accused of buying them. The latest rumor is what? Rare, that Microsoft's buying Rare. I just wanted to come up before Sandy finishes and say in front of all of you, well, it's true.
So how long ago did you start negotiating this deal?
I think the first contact was made earlier this year. It's something that obviously there was a desire from both parties to put this thing together, and it's just a process of time to make sure all the parts fit.
Did you ever consider floating the company or taking it over?
Obviously the idea came up, but it's not something that we really wanted to do. We want to make games. That's what the company's all about. And finding the right partner was the most important criteria, and I think we've done that with Microsoft.
So there are a few franchises, pretty famous, popular franchises mentioned yesterday during the conference. Any chance of any sort of vague hints at what we might be able to see on Xbox in the future?
Well, obviously,
even by genre.
We demonstrated, we showed a video of Cameo, so that will be one franchise, and a very brief intro of Perfect Dark. So those two are definitely coming to Xbox, and we have a few surprises back at home as well.
With hindsight, I mean, obviously you don't because you had to do what you did, but do you feel a sort of a bit of a shame that you developed a lot of IP and moved a lot of stuff forward that you sort of had to let go of now?
Well, the two IPs that go back to Nintendo are Donkey Kong and Star Fox, and the rest of the IP, the IP that Rare developed, that actually comes back to Rare. So it was the separation. We have a very good relationship with Nintendo, and they work very well with us.
What do Microsoft bring to the deal apart from money?
We wanted a partner with the right vision, a vision and optimism for the future, and just listening to what Microsoft has been portraying in the recent past. I mean, it's there. There's a lot of optimism, and that is really good to see. We believe in this industry. We've been making games for over 20 years, and it's our life. And we want someone that actively believes in the future.
Do you sort of see yourself exploiting Xbox Live in the coming years?
Yeah, definitely. It's a really important feature of the Xbox platform. It's something that has been well thought out. You obviously can tell that the Microsoft people have put a lot of thought behind what will make connectivity really work. So yes, we're very excited, and we do have plans to incorporate that in our future games.
Have you done any work on kind of online stuff so far?
We have some research back at the company that we're actively involved with at this stage.
What is it? What's your research telling you?
I suppose it tells us it opens up a new door. We're just opening up this door, and we don't really know at this stage what we're going to find on the other side, but it's a new world, and we're really looking forward to exploring that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've learned a lot from the acquisitions that we've done. Bungie, for example, is one that certainly has worked out well, but also that we've learned a lot from. We took them and move them from Chicago to Seattle, and then we kind of had to do a lot of work to recreate the environment that they had before and try and make it back to the way they like to work. So going into this deal, it was really important to us and to them to really preserve everything as it is, to make sure that we keep the magic the way it is. And so we've been able to structure this deal in a very unusual way for Microsoft, to just keep everything the same, so that for the average employee, it's going to seem I still work for Rare.
You've got obviously the Lionhead games and Rare now.
Right.
Does that sort of, there's quite a lot of eggs in the UK basket. Do you think you'll be building up sort of the UK management over here of those studios?
Well, it is nice to have a place here where we have some first-party development. I mean, I have a studio in Japan and several in the U.S. obviously, so to have a first-party studio here in the UK is a great thing.
You don't plan on spending more time here?
Well, no, I will be spending more time here personally. I'm certainly going to be visiting these guys and seeing the progress of the games.
What role do the two of you continue to play a role these days? I mean, is it hands-on anymore, or what do you get up to during the day?
We are actively involved in all of the games that we make. Games are our life, and it's what we want to do. And I think actually the Microsoft deal will give us more time to devote to that. Myself, I'm still the technical director of Rare, and Tim is the creative director. We want to spend as much time as possible getting involved with the games that Rare produces.
Obviously, the guy's got a great reputation, and you know exactly what they've done in the past.
Sure.
But this is a huge deal. How much of what they're working on now did Microsoft have to see before they took the plunge?
Well, I mean, we saw everything. They were great to let us come through and meet the teams and see all the development. I mean, what's really unusual about this deal is that there's so much development that's so far in progress that we can pick up. I mean, the only thing that's assigned to Nintendo is Star Fox that just shipped. Everything else is ready to switch over and then start to exploit the Xbox. So I feel like we get such a running start in this deal, as opposed to taking 2 or 3 years to start something from scratch and bring it all the way through.
Do you guys still own the 8-bit IP, like Anti-Attack and Sable and all that? And if so,
yes, we do. I suppose there's the Saberman character is one that we may see in the future.
Hint.
But the answer to the question is yes, we do.
Are you going to miss anything or anyone at or about Nintendo?
It's a good question. I suppose over 15 years we've developed some wonderfully close relationships with the people at Nintendo, especially with the people at EAD. And yes, there are going to be people there that we will miss the kind of day-to-day communication, but they're still our friends, and we will still see them at the shows. And it's not as all we've seen in the press about there must be some rift between Nintendo and Rare, and that's certainly not the case. And I think that's borne out by the fact that we've been able to sort out all of the IP ownership issues. So yes, a few sort of tinges of sadness in terms of the people we leave behind, but obviously we're very excited about all of the new people that we're meeting at Microsoft and their kind of vision for the future. I mean, that really does excite us. So we're really looking forward to it.
Obviously, we've heard the official line, but how has your experience has been so far with regards to Xbox development? Is it really as great as they have us believe?
It's the best development environment we've ever experienced. The Cameo demo that was shown last night took us 2.5 weeks to put together. I mean, we're just amazed by how easy that was, and we just feel now that we're going to have far more time to actually focus on the content and really, sort of explore new possibilities rather than just worrying about the underlying sort of technology and everything else that goes along with making great games. So it's the best development environment we've ever experienced.
So the little dig at Pikmin at the end, what was that all about? It was a little dig at Pikmin, wasn't it? Or was that just my imagination?
No, I think
or was I drunk?
people liken these little characters to Pikmin, but nothing intended there.
Okay.
They were actually in the Cameo game, if you noticed. It
Oh,
wasn't
they are,
separate.
Were there any games you wanted to make with Nintendo that you couldn't make? Or any?
No, not really. I mean, Rare has always made its own decisions in terms of whatever games we wanted to make. And no, I can't think of anything. And the same, I think, going forward. We have a very strong belief in our own ideas, and I can see that continue. Creativity is a very fragile kind of beast, and you need the right environment in place to make great games. And so it was more important than anything else to find that right partner. And now that we've done that, I think you'll see that the best games we've ever made will come out of the following years. So we're very excited.
There was some talk that you, I don't know if it was true or not, but that you were frustrated about having a smaller audience than maybe you might have had being on the Nintendo platform.
No, we've never been concerned about that. We just want to make great games.
There seems to be a lack of the more kind of immediate titles. Obviously, there's arcade-style titles from Sega,
Right.
but a lot of it tends to be very in-depth, very involved, and very time-consuming.
So you mean just something that's really easy to pick up and play? Is that
Well, something
kind of
like, for instance, like Burnout 2.
something you'd see in an arcade. So. Well, I think titles like Quantum Redshift have that character to them. Beautiful game, easy just to pick up and play. There's 175 titles now, so it's just here in Europe, more than 200 in the U.S. So there's pretty much something for everyone at this point. The great thing about Rare, though, is just the broad appeal of the titles that they produce, their ability to sell to just so many people. I mean, I don't think they even think about it this way. Their focus is we just want to make a great game. We just want it to be fun. When their average sales is 1.4 million units, it's incredible. So that I think is really going to help us broaden the audience for the Xbox, and that's a great thing to have.
Do you think you can learn from them?
Oh, I think I have a ton to learn from these guys.
We're not going to let them in.
There's only so much they'll share, I've known these guys for several years, and it's funny, they've come over, I've seen Chris will come over during a trade show and say, what's with those monitors you're using? So I've learned from him even before this deal. No, I mean, with more than 20 years of experience, these guys are just, there's no one like them in the business. And not only that, but I feel like they've worked with some of the best, working with the core Nintendo team, working with Miyamoto. I feel like they've picked up a lot from that as well. I don't know if you guys feel that way.
But the way you make games, I think it'd be fair to say, is maybe it's part of the myth, but you do operate in a slightly different way. Like there's not so much and I think it's a good thing if I'm on the press. Not so much press, back and forth, and internally you're quite sort of divided, aren't you? And you tend to get people who haven't worked for other companies before. I mean, all of those things are different things, different to the way the studios tend to work.
I think Tim would be great to comment on how they make games.
Don't mean it last. Rare has a different philosophy. We don't really have any or much contact with other game development companies, and we just do things the way that I guess they've evolved. We try to employ people that are great games players, game enthusiasts, and they're really interested to see the other games that we're developing in the company. So it's really a group of game enthusiasts all working together to produce the best games we can. That's right.
Can you just clarify exactly what the situation is with EA and Xbox Live? Because from a European perspective, we're missing out on having FIFA 2003, for example.
Sure, we're in ongoing negotiations with EA on Xbox Live. It's not unlike the situation with EA first coming to Xbox. It was one of the longest negotiations, and ultimately they came to the platform, and we were both happy.
you know, the sticky point is that what we're building with Live is one unified system, right? One worldwide unified system where in every game you can talk. In every game there's one name that you own that's around the world. In every game you can find out where your friends are, you can invite them and have them join you. There's a handful of things that are very important to us as the foundations of the platform. And until we can guarantee that those will exist in the EA games that come to the platform, we won't be able to find agreement between us. So that's basically the sticking point of the discussion. They've invested hundreds of millions of dollars in building their online gaming system, EA.com, and they don't want to see that go to waste. You know, for most publishers, it's a great thing that we build Xbox Live so that they don't have to worry about building their own server centers and managing them 24 hours a day and dealing with hackers and all the other issues. For EA, they have a lot of that expertise already, and so for them, it's boy, how do we take our system and have it work with your system, and how much of that shows through to the end user, etc. It's a complicated situation. So. I'm still very optimistic that we'll be able to work it out. I think both companies ultimately want the same thing, which is, you know, EA believes in online gaming, and it seems clear to me that Xbox is the best platform for online gaming. So.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Victory!